Hey guys, welcome to the Save Continue podcast where we get together and talk about video games and such. With I am Shanae Howard and with me is Tommy Shelby
Hello.
and Ryan Robinson.
Hi.
So this week before we started the show, we did want to make an announcement about a longtime fan and friend of the show.
Yeah, so we actually found out last week while we were recording that our dear friend Corey passed away. A lot of you in the community who are our part of our main social community know Corey. He was a really funny, bright, and very sweet guy, and we're gonna miss him. We're gonna miss hearing his trophy updates and talking to him about all the games he's playing. So Corey, we love you and we'll miss you very much.
Well said.
Yeah, we'll miss you. Actually, this past week, last show I did talk about playing Spiritfarer, and I can't think of the last game I've done this with, and it not necessarily was super challenging, but I did platinum Spiritfarer, and it felt
Nice.
a little bit fitting
Um,
because I normally don't pay attention to a lot of the trophies. I just kind of play
sure.
to whatever I want.
Was it just because it was so you were just so into it that you're just like, I have to do everything. I just have to do everything.
Well, I was just going through, and I realized I only had 4 trophies I hadn't gotten when I was about to finish. So I don't know. And I've just been thinking about Corey this past week, so and I was just like, I should try. And it
Yeah.
wasn't and it wasn't luckily, even though I had a busy schedule, it wasn't that difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of I finished it last night, which is kind of fortuitous timing because actually I got a used copy of Hogwarts Legacy for PS5, and I've been
Nice.
playing
Boo.
all day.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
What's the biggest, fattest, sleekest spell that you've dealt?
That I've dealt?
Yes.
Okay. So I had to do some chores before I could play it, and I didn't get it wait till midday. But
Like
so
Birdo
I'm
makes you do chores before he lets you play games?
no, I've been trying really hard to be more productive in my life and less lazy,
Sure.
and so I've been doing at least part of a chore, and so I just kind of have things that I want to get done. So I had some plans because I didn't plan on having Harry Potter today.
Yeah.
But so I got a couple of them done. So he doesn't make me do chores. I make me do chores, which is almost worse.
I love that we had to come back around and clarify that.
He's not the boss of me.
Yeah, Shanae has to Shanae has to reaffirm her agency so that
I don't like the implication.
Sure. I understand.
But yeah, so I did my chores and I got to play my game.
Yeah.
I'm a wizard.
Sure.
And
what is your wizard's name?
So I was actually gonna say I normally don't try to make characters look like me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, whatever. I think a person that's gonna go through this journey, what would they look like?
Sure.
That's but I actually try to make her look like me, and it is the weirdest character creation because there's I don't know, let's say be generous and say 16 base faces, and those will be the nose, the lips, and the cheekbones areas. Those are set. But then you get 70 eyebrow options.
Sure, that's a lot.
I can't just change. I don't have a mouse setting, but I have 70 eyebrows. Okay.
Yeah.
It was weird. But I made it look like me. I named it after me.
You didn't magic it up a little bit like Shenanius or something?
No, I didn't. But they do have it where you can connect your Harry Potter fan account to it.
What is that?
So it's connected.
It's like an OnlyFans.
Yes. we take very sexy
Harry Potter fans.
Yeah, you take some wand pics and put it up there.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
They'll rate your wand.
Sure. That sounds okay.
connected to Pottermore, where you do like a Hogwarts house sorting
Okay.
quiz to figure out what your Patronus is, like what your wand would be like, based off all these like tests and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've done all that stuff, and so it was nice to be able to connect it and be like, and to have that kind of come back into my life.
Yeah.
And but also like it's not set in stone. Even if you connect it, like you can still change what your wand is and like what house you're in. It gives you those options.
Yeah.
But I did whatever I got sorted into.
Okay.
And
So what? 2 questions.
oh yeah, but I guess like Reparo is like the newest spell. No. I know Leviosa, where you lift things up, like levitate it.
Okay. Cool. What is a Patronus?
So it is like a kind of like a construct familiar. Like if you do a certain spell, then and you're powerful enough, it'll come out looking like a little animal and it's like glowing and it can attack like dementors or like carry messages or like do other things. And it's supposed to be like based off who you are as a person, what animal it looks like.
I was
I'm a Russian blue cat.
I was just thinking my Patronus would be a can of Vienna sausages.
I just imagine Tommy's Patronus to be Ryan.
Why not? Tommy,
I don't know, man.
I would protect you to the ends of the earth.
Sure.
Yeah, I would.
But yeah, no, it's fun. It's nice. I'm trying to keep an open mind about like some criticisms that I've heard and like and just kind of experience it myself. I am gonna go try and do like looking at 0 guides. Like
How much have you played so far?
I'd say like 3 hours.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested to see what you think. It's the game's confused me a lot, just like people talking about it online. Not because of the controversy and all that, but like mostly because like reviews have been mostly positive. Like the critical scores have been mostly high, but when you read the reviews themselves, they are mostly negative.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just been very confusing there.
Yeah.
There's
That's
like there's some odd choices in there, like the way that they've decided to do spell casting and that like some things I think they've done right, some things I think are pretty clunky and it doesn't
Mhm.
really feel like you're doing magic. Also, the way that they have done it is like you basically have like you can just wave your wand and it'll cast what they call just a cast and it'll like destroy books or like interact with things. But that's not how magic works in like Harry Potter. Like you have to say a spell
Mm,
and have an intention. There's no like just
yeah.
with like no words or anything like that or like idea of a certain action
I
you might
feel like I've seen those people zapping at each other without saying stuff before.
They're thinking it
so,
probably.
so if you get powerful or learned it enough, you can do
Yeah.
it without saying it out loud. But even
Okay.
then, those movies do get criticism because there's a lot of characters that do like wordless spells that like they
Yeah,
shouldn't
yeah,
be
yeah.
able to.
Okay.
So like there's that going on.
So what kind of game is it actually? Because I never really got a sense of like what like kind of game it's supposed to be.
It's just like it seems to me like it's just supposed to be just like RPG adventure.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like it is open world to an extent, but there's like are still like constrained in like at least so far in like bounded areas. Like
Mm.
say if I'm like doing a quest and I had to go to like I had to go to Hogsmeade with a fellow student, and we're running along, and I see something on the path that I can interact with, and so I go interact with it, but it's like, "Oh, you've left your person," and it starts doing a countdown before I've never gotten to the bottom of the countdown because 'cause I'm like, "Oh shit, am I gonna fail this?" Because I like went exploring a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. So it has like linear game mechanics in it, but it is also like whenever you are not like necessarily following a certain person or doing certain actions, like you can go around the entire area you're in. And I guess you could leave it, but I've tried to leave like some of the stuff and I just keep getting out of bounds. So now I just kind of stay in that area and I'm like, all right, I learned my lesson, game. I don't want you to yell at me.
Sure.
So yeah, I it's beautiful. I'll say that. 100% it's beautiful. They have a lot of like things that you can interact with that don't actually do anything. Like they've never produced anything like spinning globes, knocking down books, like book towers off tables and stuff. And like you see things like flying around. It does feel like super magical, like the world that you are playing in. It's just the actions themselves are not very intuitive, like
Mhm.
sometimes. So the combat in general, once you get into a combat space, is pretty like intuitive and easy to use. And and so like but also some of it, I don't know. It's just I'll have to play more of it, but as
Yeah,
of
yeah,
right
for
now,
sure.
because sometimes, like, games, just when they're doing the tutorial stuff will be clunky, but it'll, like,
Hmm.
smooth out once you start actually playing it.
I saw a video clip that made it look like the player killed another kid. Is that something that happens at
Man, I
Hogwarts? Is that something
so
that they're
I'm
okay
in a
with?
duel I joined a dueling an unofficial dueling club unsanctioned
He
by the
disintegrated
school.
this child, Shanae. You have something you want to
I
say about that?
I I was sending children flying into the walls, and so, like, Birdo was, like, walking around the house, and I'm like, "Hey, baby, I'm killing kids over here," because I'm throwing these kids into walls hard. Like,
Yeah.
the kid crumpled. That
Yikes.
kid's dead.
Yeah. R.I.P.
I
that kid,
like
I guess. I mean, they gotta, their parents gotta sign some kind of waiver or something, right?
eh,
Yeah.
I don't know how magical law works, but,
Sure.
yeah, so far, I'm enjoying it. I feel like a wizard, but also it's a little bit awkward.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like at the very least you are interested in it enough to continue. Sounds like you're having a good enough time so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have now that y'all let me rant about my Harry Potter, what have y'all been playing?
Just Dead Space. That's all.
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of time for video games, but I'm liking Dead Space a lot. I'm towards the end of it, so I'm trying to decide how many, if any, more different kinds of runs I'll be doing.
Sure.
But that's about it. I don't know, like, you know, they've always had like the plasma cutter only run, and that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Although I do think like that kind of makes the game easier because Dead Space has always been weird with the ammo situation, right? Like whereas Resident Evil or even Silent Hill, it's like here's the ammo on the map. The ammo is what it is.
You're right.
Dead Space has always only given you ammo for what you currently have in your inventory.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you store everything but the plasma cutter, you're only going to get plasma cutter ammo,
Yeah.
which kind of makes it a lot easier, you know?
Yeah, because you're always gonna have ammo.
Right.
Yeah.
But still sounds fun. And then they've got like that impossible run where it's like hard mode permadeath. And I don't know if I can do that,
Sure.
but I might try it.
So here's my thing about permadeath runs, right? Is that like you get to the end of the game, one false move, and
Yeah.
that's it. And I don't know if I can take that at this point in my life.
Here's the thing, right? I've done it in a lot of other games, but like, you know, doing that in like Diablo is not a challenge.
No.
You know, like it's just not. Doing that in Dead Space is really not much of a challenge, but yeah, you fuck up once and then
Yeah.
you've wasted a few hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I might try it once and just see how it goes.
I would very much like to get you in front of Callisto Protocol at some point because I want to see how you feel about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to buy it at some point. I do not want to pay full price for it. So we'll see.
We'll just play mine.
Sure.
We'll just play mine, and then you see how you feel about that.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
What about you, Ryan?
I have been playing a buttload of Control, homie.
Yeah, I saw you playing
Thoughtless.
it the other day. I was so excited.
Bro, like, holy shit. Let me tell
Oh,
you something.
Rez just platinumed it.
That game fucking
Nice.
rules, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it
like
does.
it's the one game that I've played in my life where I read everything.
Hmm.
Everything that I find is very fucking interesting to me.
You
Like,
kind of have to understand most of the story. You kind
yeah.
of need to, you know.
And I got to a bunch of documents about Alan Wake, and it was like,
Yeah,
ooh, it was like they were talking about like they were basically describing the events of Alan Wake. It was like this was another altered world event that we got to go check out, and I was like, and it was like, this we have an individual. Oh, he was because Alan Wake was considered for the Prime Candidates program. Prime candidates
yeah.
get to potentially be the director of the bureau, and I was like, that's fucking cool. But anyway, like I've been having a lot of fun with the game. One thing that has been helping me a lot is because I'm not as good at video games as I used to be. So the game has some assists in there, and a lot of the time when I run to games that have assists or any sort of accessibility thing, there's like a penalty for using them. Like maybe you can't unlock trophies or they cut you off with this thing. But no, you can get all the trophies with all that shit turned on if you want to. You can run through the game in invincibility mode if you want to and get all the trophies. But I use it for like the aim
I didn't even know
assist.
that was a thing.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
funny.
Yeah, I do the aim assist because I'm not so good at aiming in that game. So I turn that some bitch on, and I've done a little tweaking to Jesse's damage resistance on that, and I've got it to a point where like it's perfect, and like
Yeah,
I'm having such a great time.
and you're making me want to go back to it.
It's so fucking good, dude. Like game
I already
is so
platinumed it,
good.
but
Oh,
like
fucking good.
It's so
I
fucking
got the
good,
platinum for it
bro.
a long while back, but like I did the first expansion, the Foundation,
Yeah.
but then they did the AWE expansion, and I haven't done that one yet.
Tommy, Control, Metroidvania, yes or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. I came to that conclusion independently
Yeah,
as I was playing it.
yeah, absolutely. It is
Um,
a horrible map though, just
sure.
terrible map.
Awful, actually.
Yeah.
But
Have you, speaking of Remedy, have you heard like they recently came out and said like they're planning on going forward releasing a game a year?
I had not heard that. But
Isn't that
like,
fucking insane?
kind of
Yeah.
because like think about like
Well, I guess it just depends on like how involved that game is.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing
yeah.
is that like Remedy, like I've never played a Remedy game that does half measures of anything.
Right.
Like every game that I have ever played of theirs has been like narratively like intricate and
Yeah.
like kind of dense. And like a lot of the time, like the gameplay is like pretty straightforward. Like those first two Max Paynes, it was pretty straightforward, but there were all these other fucking threads going everywhere. And with Control, like if we're talking about like something like Control, like there is so much going on in that game, like with all the documents, all the lore that they built up, it's ridiculous.
Right. Well, and see, here's the thing, right? We don't really know for how long they intend to do that,
Yeah.
right? We know that the Max Payne remakes, whatever, are coming,
Right.
and we know they've been working on Alan Wake 2.
Right.
So, like, that's 2 in the chamber already. I guess,
Sure.
like, by the time those are both out, they could potentially have been working on a third game
Yeah.
for a few years at that point, you know? So I could see, like, the next 3 years getting a game from them, but, like, what does that mean from now on? Like, always? You know?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Ever.
I just like I feel like one of the things I love about Remedy is how like complex the games are from
Yeah.
like a lot of different standpoints, and I would just hate to see that compromised in favor of an annual release schedule. But I also feel like they wouldn't do that if they weren't confident that they could pull it off.
Yeah.
So and I'm also making assumptions about like the scope of the games that they'd be releasing, right? So I don't know. But I've been having a lot of fun with it.
It's just like refacings of Pong.
I feel like Remedy could find a way to make Pong weird and interesting. But you never know.
Well, like, you think about, like, I mean, I guess Control was quite some time ago, but, like, between Control and the original Alan Wake remaster, which was done in-house, and then what's that multiplayer shooter that they worked on?
Fuck.
It was like Xbox exclusive, but they did, I think, the single player in it. Like, there are like Remedy verse references in that shooter. They are
Sounds
not
about
the
right.
main developer on that, but I can't remember what it's called. It's being delisted anyway. But like, they definitely have a pretty crammed schedule, or at least they have for the past several years.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, a game a year of their quality seems kind of crazy,
Yeah.
especially considering like that studio is not huge.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
are you talking about Quantum Break?
No, not Quantum Break. That was longer ago.
Hmm.
It was like a
Okay.
multiplayer focus shooter that I think they did single player content for.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, Also, Kaylee and I recently got into a game called Power Wash Simulator,
Oh yeah.
and that
Um,
that game does those things to like it makes the back of your brain feel good.
It like
Because
just came to
oh,
console, right?
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
kind of like your version of ASMR, just like it
it's just like watching the fucking dirt come off the stuff, and like
satisfying.
it's very satisfying. And then you get the upgraded fucking power washer, and the dirt comes off faster. It's nice. So I got that primarily for Kaylee a couple of days like a few days ago, and like I feel like, and maybe my sense of time is being dilated here, but I feel like it was 12 straight hours of power washing.
Yeah.
Like just the
Hey,
constant sound of the stream of water and the ding ding every time she cleans something. But I gotta
yeah,
say
you
it's got a good hook.
you can power wash in real life. Some people will even pay you to do it for them.
Look,
Yeah, but
man.
you can't power wash Croft Manor.
Yeah. And also, like,
Mm.
I had this very similar conversation. Is that like, yes, a lot of these job types, these simulators where like you're doing someone's actual job. Like, yes, I could go out and be a power washer for real, but it is so much easier to do it for fun, and I
Yeah.
don't got to worry about someone getting mad at me or firing
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, it's like, Hitman's a great game and you could do that in real life,
You could, you could.
But
I mean,
I
people are
don't have
doing that right
I don't
now.
I don't have the skills nor the connections,
Well,
but
like you,
I could get a power washer. I have power washed things before.
sure.
Like there's yes, I get what you're saying, but also like Hitman is not a simulation game. I don't know what
Isn't
you
it
think
not?
being an assassin or Hitman is like, but it's not that game.
I guess we'll never know. We're not in the world of assassination, you know? So, I mean, not as far as I know anyway. Um, and beyond that, just been playing Monster Hunter. A whole lot of Monster Hunter Rise on the PlayStation.
Ryan, I thought about the two of you, well, you and Kaylee, but like specifically more so Kaylee,
Hmm.
when I heard about Knockout City's demise.
Yeah, she was.
And I
Yeah,
felt really bad for her. Like it's funny, the first time I've seen a game get delisted, that I felt genuinely bad for somebody because of it.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
like I remember we had conversations about it, about the like I was like, what are you gonna do? Like, how are you gonna feel when
Yeah.
this game gets shut down? How are you gonna feel? And she's like, I think I'll be okay with it because like I've done all this stuff, I've had all these experiences. I feel like I'm ready for it. And then when the announcement actually finally came through, she was like, I can't believe it's happening.
Well, it's so soon.
Yeah,
It's so soon. Like it's not as soon as Rumbleverse, but it's still
yeah,
soon.
but
And
like,
like I saw the tweet, and it's the first time like my heart sank
yeah,
over a fucking game can for you guys.
yeah. Well, it's wild, right? Because like I feel like since that game came out, it has been like a daily part of like life in this house is like
Yeah.
in some way, and it's weird. It's weird to think about a day when like just like that just goes away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like it could have anybody could have predicted it, but it's like for it to be made real is like it's like it's wild. So it's like we've been seeing like a lot of people that like had been streaming the game. They're like they like who had started off streaming the game like a year or so ago, and then like they're coming back to it, like getting all their matches in, and like they're doing like they did their final tournament the other day. Um, so yeah, it's sad, but I feel like it's great because like we both got a lot of like really good friends out of that game, so
Yeah.
that was bittersweet.
It's
Um,
just like, like sometimes a game gets delisted or like the online gets shut down or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like you can still play it in some form. You can still play it,
Yeah.
you know. But
Yeah,
like
well,
that, nope. Rumbleverse, nope. Like just
so
no.
Velen is doing a thing where they're releasing a new build for the game on PC where people can have private servers and still play the game.
Really.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
that is cool.
Yeah.
that's
But
dedication.
yeah. But because a lot of people love that game, but a lot of people love the game, but not a lot of people spend money on it. So I mean that's that's just a way of things, But
There can only be so
Um,
many free to play multiplayer games.
I
You
mean
know?
I'm saying though, like I just feel like especially
Like only so many can succeed. You know.
yeah, and I think that like a big part of like that whole model, that whole space, right? And I feel like that entire space is predicated on like how cool are your cosmetics? Because that's what people are spending money on. And like if people aren't spending money on it for one reason or another, then it's
I
just
mean, I gotta say that TMNT stuff almost made me play that game again.
yeah.
It didn't, so maybe you're right. Maybe that proves your
but
point.
almost.
But
Yeah, those foot soldiers were something else, man.
you know, yeah.
But yeah. But what is it? I think it's June.
I have no
I
idea.
think it's June
I
when
just
it's gonna
know it
come
was
out.
soon.
Yeah. So it's coming up pretty fast.
Yeah.
But there were some like positive announcements, such as what I this week we're going to talk about the latest Nintendo Direct and thoughts and feelings, and also
Thoughts and prayers.
yeah, thoughts and prayers to the
Yeah.
Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
uh, I mainly wanted to ask you, Tommy, Bayonetta Origins.
Yeah.
How do you are you like? Do you want to play it? Like, how do you feel about it? 'Cause you're the
No.
only Bayonetta fan I know.
I've no interest in it. I still haven't played 3 because I've heard not the best things about 3. I probably still will at some point
Mm-hmm.
because I'm sure the combat at the very least is good, and that's what I go to Bayonetta for.
Yeah.
Bayonetta Origins, Cereza's, whatever it is, like
And The Last Dance.
yeah, like Save the Last Dance. That one, I probably won't because like the combat's clearly different.
Yeah.
The art style is like I know people like the art style. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't really care about this like shoehorned in little Bayonetta story. Like we already had little Bayonetta story in Bayonetta 1. We don't need more of that.
Yeah.
You know.
Little Bay.
Um,
So
like I'm good. And don't get me wrong. If it comes out and people are like, "This is fucking amazing," then yeah, I'll go play it. But
so I actually managed to watch the direct. I didn't think I was gonna have time, but I actually managed to get to watch it. And I saw this game, and I finished Bayonetta like last week. The first Bayonetta game, I finished it last week. And as someone who, while I really really like the gameplay of Bayonetta, like the overall vibe is not for me.
oh, I
And
love the vibe.
I do not like the vibe. I don't like Bayonetta. I don't like her friends. I don't like Lil
I asked you
Bay.
last time, but you hadn't been far enough. What did you think about all the all the Capcom and like the different the Sega references and all that?
I'll be honest, Tom.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of them.
Oh, okay.
I kind of because there was a point in the game where I kind of like tuned out.
Yeah.
I just
There's like references to Clover and like
yeah.
to DMC to Sonic. And
I
all
heard
that.
what's the bartender? What's his name? I heard him make a reference, and I can't remember what it is now. But I was he said he said something, and he's like, I heard that in a video game once, and I can't remember what it was that he said. But he like
yeah, that's Dave, isn't it?
yeah. But like I don't know. I like the gameplay a lot, but like just the overall vibe was not for me.
Yeah.
But like this new Lil Bay game, like I was actually more intrigued by that because it looks more my speed. So I thought it looked pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm against it.
Yeah.
Like
Was there
seriously,
any-
I was like, no, don't make that. You know. And Platinum, man, I love Platinum, but like, fuck, just make some more good games, you know?
Sure. Yeah. But I looked at it and I
Um,
was like, I don't think this needs to be a Bayonetta game. This could have been something else entirely, but it's
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
was there anything that like you saw that you were super stoked about, or even mildly stoked? Highlight one
There
today.
are so many things that they showed that like that would be super exciting, but you know,
Like
like
like what?
the Advance Wars reboot camp or whatever. Like I love Advance Wars. Old Advance Wars looks way better to me. They should have just fucking ported that, you know. And then,
The old GBA Advance Wars.
yes, it looks significantly better to me. Those old ones, those have personality. This looks like a fucking phone game, you know.
Hmm.
Uh, Fucking Metroid Prime. While I hear it's a great remaster and like the control options are fantastic and all that, dude, I've been playing Prime Hack for a few years now, and like it's just whatever Nintendo does, the Switch isn't going to run Metroid Prime better than that, you know.
Yeah.
Um, the only thing that I'm like psyched for is Tears of the Kingdom, and even that, I'm just like, I'm sure it's going to be awesome, right?
Mm.
But like what they showed us is like so insignificant, you know. And like I feel like every trailer they show us less and less of that fucking game. Like there's nothing like okay, they showed the Banjo Kazooie car,
Yeah.
great,
Yeah. That's
you
nuts.
know.
That's
Like
Legend of Zelda. Nuts and bolts.
show me some actual interesting gameplay mechanics.
No,
You know,
only Banjo-Kazooie car.
there were other cool things like the Game Boy stuff is cool, but like again, I can play those better elsewhere. You know,
Yeah, but like,
without giving Nintendo even more money for the
yeah,
same games again.
yeah,
You know,
I mean, to be for any kind of fairness, like for a lot of people, me included, it is like a lot more convenient to have it on like the current gen console that I'm playing with it. Because even
sure,
though like I have like a Game Boy Color back there and I'll also have a Game Boy Advance back there too.
yeah,
Um I rarely pull those like off my shelf because like if I'm in the mood to play a handheld thing, I'm just gonna pull my Switch out of the dock and play those games.
no, I totally get that.
And like and and I don't know. I also like we've talked about the numbers and stuff like that, like with retro gaming and stuff like that. But I I really would like to see some of my favorite Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games get like brought over and maybe like breathe some new life into it. I also
Yeah,
really
but the
love
problem is that they've proven that that's not going to happen, right? If you look at their NES collection, their SNES collection, their N64 collection, their Genesis collection, like it's mostly first and second party, and then maybe you'll get something third party here and there, you know?
yeah,
Because why is Konami going to release the Castlevania Advance games when they can release their own collection and charge you $20? You know,
they wouldn't do
like
that.
right,
So
and they have done that. It's already happened. You know, like and it continues to happen. You know, like
and we continue to buy it. We
even
as in
these
the
Game Boy
collective
games,
we.
right? We've seen Game Boy games come out across multiple different collections now,
Yeah.
from multiple different publishers.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
so
uh,
well I will
it's
say
just
like
a bad strategy.
so I actually have it like next to me in my drawer. But so because I had let a friend borrow because she bought herself a Game Boy Advance and she was playing like old Game Boy games,
Yeah,
which she never did as a kid. So I let her borrow my Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages.
yeah.
And I'm really excited to see that like coming onto the Switch because like I've definitely rethought about replaying those. And yeah, like, I just would be more likely on my Switch, and, like, maybe other people will play it because there's a lot of people I talk to when they're like, "Oh, like, Legend of Zelda games you've played and, like, really loved." I was like, "I loved Ages and Seasons."
Sure.
I
I'm not saying like you're wrong to be excited or I don't understand why anybody would be excited. I get it. I just think it's for me it's too little too late,
Yeah.
you know. And I say this as somebody who has purchased 4 Switches, you know.
It's a lot of
Like
switches.
I've given Nintendo and I bought their fucking cardboard too, you know. Like I've given them a lot of my money but like, and I love a lot of their products, but
Yeah.
What about the Pikmin stuff? Or actually, no, the Dead Cells Return to Castlevania.
I don't care for Dead Cells. I would rather have a regular Castlevania. Like I said, I don't mean to be down on this whole conference. I am excited for Tears of the Kingdom.
Samba de
Um,
Amigo?
That looks so fun. I want to play that so
yeah,
bad. I want to do the dancing. And like I like dancing games. I like games where like I actually dance. I like Dance Central. I like Just Dance. I like all that shit. And
yeah.
so I'm excited to do some Sambo de Amigo because I feel like I still got the moves.
You do. I believe in
So
you.
I'm
At least
gonna.
I'll say, you know what I'm really excited for is We Love Katamari.
That looks so. I love
uh,
Katamari.
Reroll Plus or whatever.
Huh?
Isn't it like Reroll Plus or whatever?
Yeah, it's a remake of the second Katamari game.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Did you play?
Reroll was great. Like the original Reroll was great. You know,
Did you play any of? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but the Baten Kaitos games or whatever. I missed that part, but I
Baten
saw
Kaito. No,
that never got.
I never played them,
but
but
they're
those games
cool
look
though.
real fucking cool, man.
Yeah, the
I
art.
like
Yeah,
cards.
The
yeah.
art
It's an
looked
old
really
GameCube
nice.
RPG.
Yeah, that looks real fucking cool. I like.
Oh, and then they're releasing Kuru Kuru Kurin, which is like this old weird puzzle game. Like
Yeah.
that game's totally fucking cool. But like again, I will probably play it elsewhere if I really want to.
The Professor Layton game, even though I liked other in the franchise, like I was like, okay, more
See,
Steve,
I
cool.
love Layton, but like they didn't show me anything. They just showed me fucking. They showed me
Steve.
his body for a second,
That's
and that
what you.
was it.
But that's what you
You
play
know?
those games for, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
So you got what you
for that
wanted.
Layton bod.
Yeah.
And then my family's pretty excited about the new Mario Kart courses because that's what we play.
Yeah,
Like we all have Switches, and it's like the easiest one for all of us. So,
for
and we
sure.
all live in like different houses or states.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's exciting for us. I know that's kind of like you have to be there continually playing it with like people you know for it to be exciting.
Oh, my friend
Um,
Sarah's super psyched for that Style Savvy game, which like is not
Yes.
for me, but
Yeah.
like it's not Style Savvy, but it's the same developers as Style Savvy.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I know that that's something that Kayla would be into because she loves dressing characters up. So I
yeah.
really think that like she'd be. I feel like she'd be into that. Um, I don't know, man. There were a lot of the stuff that I saw was I think that like
Fashion Dreamer is the game, by the way.
oh yeah,
I'm
that's the
pretty sure
name.
you're talking about.
So I saw Etrian Odyssey or the Origins collection.
Yes, that's a good one.
I never played
Yeah.
Etrian Odyssey before, but I do like that style of video game. I thought it was funny because one of the parts of their little advertisement was like even play with the auto map draw mode, and I was like, well, that's the whole fucking game. Like, it's gonna like, isn't that the whole deal?
No.
Like, isn't like a part of the draw is the satisfaction of drawing the map as you explore? Yes or no?
I mean, if you happen to enjoy that part of the game, then sure. But like what you have are like deep first person dungeon crawlers, not unlike SMT, you know?
Sure.
And like SMT doesn't have you drawing your own maps, but it's still fun. You know?
I'm not saying that games. I'm not saying that games that don't have map drawing aren't fun. That's not the argument that I'm making.
But what you're saying is that isn't that the appeal? I'm like, no, not really. Like that's part of the game. Yes.
All I'm saying is that every time I've seen an Etrian Odyssey game, one of the big selling points on the game was that you're drawing the maps. I thought that was part of that was. I thought it was a big part of the fun.
I mean, you can still draw the map here, and like the reason you saw that so heavily advertised is because like most of the Etrian Odyssey series that like got decent marketing was on the 3DS.
Okay, I'm just saying you got to draw the maps. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying
you can. You still can.
I'm not saying that you can't. Sinead, he's not listening to me. I'm not saying that you can't.
It sounded like you said they can't.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that I want to draw the maps. Don't
Implication.
tell
The implication.
I know that it's implying that I cannot draw the maps if I don't want to draw the maps, but I want to draw the maps. So just let me draw the maps and shut up. God.
Sure.
I'm not the one stopping you. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that it's not wrong for me to want to draw the maps. That's all I'm saying.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong. But you did imply that you can't.
I did imply that. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, I like a good old first-person turn-based RPG. You know, like we've talked before about like wizardry on here, and like Etrian has always reminded me of that series. You know, obviously with much less Western influence, but like you know, it's
more maps.
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Yeah. There was some detective game whose name escapes me.
The Deca Police game?
Yes.
Or Ghost Trick?
Deca Police.
Okay.
That game looks like a lot of fun.
Another level 5. Tons of level 5.
Yeah. It looks like
fucking nuts.
It looks like a really good time. But like a lot of it was like a lot of what I saw was like a lot of remasters and redos and reboots but that game that one really caught my eye because it looked like it was a really good time. I like detective stuff, and the battle system looked weird and interesting. So, but I don't know.
My sister's pretty excited about the new. Excited about Splatoon news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get splatted.
What was that thing with no color? Is it going to be like the Blob? Or like Shaun White skateboarding? Like what's up with that?
I have no idea.
You know what I mean? Like at the end of the Splatoon part, you see like an inkling, but like everything in the city is like white. And like, are we gonna color that? Like, what's going on there?
You know they're gonna have you color it, Tom.
Reminded me of like the Epic Mickey stuff, whereas like all like
a friend of mine was like, it reminded me of it reminded her of the Muted City from fucking Nier Automata. I'm like, yeah, Yoko Taro's not doing fucking Splatoon, but like
he might.
It'd be really cool if he did.
Yeah,
I'd be down for it.
I'm sure Abs is excited for all the Splatoon stuff. He's been playing a lot of that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And what did you think about that? They showed a Fire Emblem like expansion pass, was it?
It's like wave 2 of the DLC for Engage.
Is that interesting to you?
Like mildly. I mean, it's not gonna be interesting until I play the game, and that's not gonna be until after Harry Potter, so in like, I don't know, 8 months.
Are those like old characters or like these brand new characters, do you know?
They're all old characters.
They're all, yeah.
Is the whole game just old characters?
Or no, but like you in that specific game, you have what they are calling emblems.
Okay.
Which are basically like summons of old Fire Emblem characters.
Okay. A regular who's who of Fire Emblem.
There was one indie game that I thought looked really good. I forget the developer, but they're the same people that made The Messenger, which I wasn't very fond of The Messenger.
Oh, is that?
But it's a turn-based RPG. I don't remember.
No.
It looks like. I mean, it's an RPG. It's a turn-based RPG.
Sea of Stars.
It's got like the same composers like Chrono Trigger and shit, and like it looks pretty sick.
It does look really cool.
I do like.
I don't know that game looks really cool. It gave me some old school SNES vibes. I don't know anything about that game aside from like what I saw, but it looks really neat. So
same. I mean, it's the same for me, man. I'm just kind of like blind faith, right? Like, because I did not really care for The Messenger. You know,
I bounced off The Messenger.
This is a completely different style of game.
Yeah.
And like
battery 60%.
I liked the way The Messenger looked.
Yeah.
You know, and this looks really good. So yeah, I'm into it. Also, Ghost Trick is fucking awesome. Even though you can play it on your phone, like it's cool that it will be on a console again.
Is that the one with the guy with the pointy hair?
Yeah.
Okay. That does look pretty neat. I was actually looking at Mega Man Battle Network. Like I've never played those games before. Yeah. And I've always heard like really cool things about them. I've never been good at any Mega Man. I beat one Mega Man level in my entire life.
I remember.
Yes.
And And Thomas was there.
Yes, it was a Mega Man 2, Flashman, I think. But I don't know. This game, it looks cool. I like the idea of like a because it's like it looks like a turn-based battler kind of Mega Man game, kind of. So I don't know. It looks really neat. So I would really like to check that out, especially because I'd always looked at those games back when they first came out, and I was always too scared to try them. But I might give them a try this time. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about the Game Boy stuff, so I mainly wanted to talk about that and see what Thomas's thoughts were because you normally
I mean, I love Game Boy. You know,
Yeah.
I love Game Boy.
It's not the way that they're doing it.
I mean, I think even the way that they're doing it is cool. You know, like it's cool that they're giving you the different filters. You know, which is like such a small thing, but it's cool that it's there.
Yeah.
It is. I like it. It is neat. I do like it. I like that they're doing it. They're gonna. It's Nintendo, right? So like, how many times have I bought Tetris from Nintendo? You
Not
know,
enough. Not enough.
We talk about
3 more
emulation
Tetrises.
and like emulating those games. I have zero fucking qualms with. You know,
Yeah.
but
You should. They need your money now more than
yeah,
ever.
clearly they are now it's now the third best-selling console of all time, and will probably end its life being the first. But you know, they need my money.
Yes.
Yeah, Game Boy stuff, dude. I love Game Boy. It's fucking cool. I hope that we see some interesting games on there, and their previous collections, at least on Switch, have shown us that we probably won't. You know.
So what is it? What would you have liked to have seen during this direct, Thomas? That would have like really got you popping, really made you pop off.
Actual gameplay for Tears of the Kingdom would have been cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nintendo. No, a shadow drop of it, and it's available.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would have bought it. I thought it was crazy that they shadow dropped Prime. You know, like I love Prime. But there's like so much shit they're sitting on that I think I would like. I know it's not smart for them to do. You know, I would love another Wave Race.
Cool.
No one's gonna buy that. You know, like
you are someone.
Yeah, you're not no one, Tom.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, right? You think about Nintendo's IP, and like so many of them are just so well known amongst the gaming community and beyond, right?
Yeah.
Like people know who fucking Samus is, and people know Fox McCloud and all that, right? But nobody buys those games.
I wonder why
people don't buy those, you know. So like
that's because they're actually from Smash Brothers,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't need a spin-off game from the Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
I don't.
The Smash Brothers.
But like, yeah, I would, if they showed like another Star Fox, I would have been psyched. You know, Wave Race, Sin and Punishment. Like Nintendo has an endless amount of IP that I love, but like, it's not smart for them to do those.
I wondered when I was watching this thing if maybe I'm just like not that much of a Nintendo guy, because like it is, and I think that a large part of like why like I typically don't watch the direct is because I very rarely see like games that kind of speak to my tastes or sensibilities. Like once in a while I'll see something that strikes my interest, but like it doesn't seem very frequent, and especially when a lot of the stuff that I saw was like re-releases or remasters of stuff that I'd like wasn't really interested in the first place. But there was a few things in there, and I also don't know like what is the likelihood of me checking a lot of these things out, even the ones that like seemed interesting to me, like Sea of Stars. That game looks really fucking cool, and I'm sure that it will be, but like I am not sure how likely it is that I'll actually check it out because I don't really play Switch as much as I used to, you know.
But like that, along with many of these other games, will be on PlayStation and on Steam, you know.
Yeah.
And some of them on Xbox.
Yeah.
You know, the majority of these games are not exclusive to the Switch.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, man.
But Nintendo brought it directly to us.
They did do that.
Yeah.
They did.
You know what I would really love to see from Nintendo Sinead that I don't think we're going to get until their next console? A new Mario Kart. You know? Like, because Mario Kart 8 is a Wii U game. It's a port of a Wii U game. And I understand they've put a lot of work and added a lot to that game since then, right?
Also, it makes more sense because, like my situation, if they bring out a new one, then all of us have to buy a new copy. Unless they make it where it's a game where like only one person has to buy it and like you can join lobbies without purchasing the game. Like it's just at this point
but a proper new Mario Kart would be nice. We've got like multiple Mario parties this generation and not a single new Mario Kart, you know?
I feel confident, and I'm actually willing to bet money that when they announce the next Nintendo console, that
there will be a new one.
That Mario Kart will be part of that launch lineup.
I think so too, just because like Mario Kart 8, while it wasn't great on the Wii U as far as sales go, I believe it is still the best-selling game on the Switch. Like better than Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild or any of that.
Yeah.
So that would be a very smart launch title for them.
Yeah. Maybe it just has I think it has a much broader appeal than those other two games.
Oh, Pilot Wings, man. Bring back Pilot Wings. I would be psyched for that too.
I haven't played Pilot Wings, since 64, was it?
3DS had a good one.
Oh, did they?
64?
Yes, since 1964.
Yeah. 3DS had Pilot Wings Resort, which I really, really liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to play Pilot Wings 64 and shoot myself out of the cannon over and over again because it was really funny the way they yelled when they flew out of the cannon. But
Pilot Wings Resort was one of those like games that I didn't really know anything about when I worked at GameStop, but I would see, but like for a while after it came out, like the price was like going down, and then I don't know why, still to this day, but like then it just shot up to like essentially a new game price, and then just stayed there the entire time I was working there.
Well, it's Nintendo, you know, like their first party stuff. They tend to somehow keep the cost of those games sky high.
Yeah. Forget about it.
No, it mainly was Nintendo games that I saw that with. Very rarely was like an Xbox or a PS3 game where I'm like, oh, this is like surprisingly a large amount of money.
First party Nintendo 3DS game that was also a launch game, Steel Diver, you could go get for dirt cheap. Like nobody wanted Steel Diver, you know.
No.
I mean, people aren't into submarines anymore, Tom.
Yeah.
It's passe.
It's all about helicopters now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Actually, sorry, no, it's about power washers. We've moved away from vehicles.
I mean,
you know, it would be fucking sick. You guys ever play Tetris DS?
No.
So that Tetris DS, like Nintendo had the Tetris IP early on in the DS life cycle, and they come out with Tetris DS. So it's a Tetris game with a bunch of fucking Nintendo shit in there. So like you're playing Tetris, but there's fucking Mario and Samus and all sorts of shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And they had a lot of really fun modes in there. But it's just kind of your standard Tetris game with Nintendo shit thrown in there, right?
Yeah.
But like, clearly they still work with the Tetris company. So like for those that don't know, Tetris company does not make Tetris games, you know? They always find somebody else who makes the Tetris games, right? That's why we've seen Ubisoft and Sega and Nintendo make them in recent years. Enhanced, right? Made Tetris Effect. But like, clearly they still have a relationship with Nintendo because like they did that Tetris 99.
Mm-hmm.
So like, some kind of follow-up to that would be sick.
Yeah.
Or like a follow-up to, you guys play NES Remix?
NES Remix? What is that?
Yeah. NES Remix was 3DS and I think Wii U as well. It's like almost like WarioWare, but the mini games are comprised of old NES games.
I like that.
So it's like do this little bit of Excite Bike for a few seconds, and then do Donkey Kong for a few seconds, and like it's a bunch of that shit, you know?
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Like they could do like an SNES remix, you know, or
Ooh,
N64 remix or whatever.
What would you put in the N64 remix?
I don't know, dude.
Okay. All right.
Mario.
You're gonna do 5 seconds of Mario, and then you're gonna do 3 seconds of
It's got to be first party, right?
Yeah.
So like
3 seconds of Donkey Kong again.
Yeah, Mario, some wave race.
Then shoot yourself out of this fucking
wings.
shoot yourself out of this fucking cannon real quick. And what's another one? I've run out of Nintendo games to mention.
Yeah.
But you get it. You know.
Sure.
You know. Feed opponent this carrot real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Kill 10 absquatulas.
Yeah. But not the one we like.
Yeah.
Just those other ones. So.
But I want them to do like the NES and like the games where they're not collections, and I can just buy the games individually.
Oh, like they used to do? Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I'm gonna be honest, like I what I was doing with my Switch where I was like deleting stuff because like I only wanted to focus on the stuff that I haven't played yet.
Yeah.
And I just kept glossing over my the collections I do have already on the Switch for like some retro games. Because I'm like, oh well, there's like 6 of them, and I don't want to play like 3 of them. So like, yeah, like I tend to not go to them because there's 3 of them that I don't give a shit about. So
right.
I'd be more apt to buy like individual selections.
Yeah, well, that part of the expansion pass, like if you want the GBA games, it's an additional $20 a year on top of whatever you were paying before, you know?
Yes.
A deal. I don't think $20 annually for some GBA games is a bad deal, but like,
but
that's
also,
on top of what you're already paying, you know.
Yeah,
and like that includes like really shitty netcode for everything. So
yeah,
that's all right.
That's all right.
You just play
your shit together, Nintendo.
Y'all doing all right. Just give me them games, baby. That's all right.
Was there anything else that y'all wanted to add
on?
Or summarize your thoughts or feelings on anything?
Yes. Buy Samba de Amigo. Record yourself playing it and send that video to your crush. They will fall in love with you, guaranteed.
That is his own personal opinion, not a reflection of the podcast as a whole.
Sure.
Do not hold us responsible.
Samba de Amigo is not as fun as you remember. If you ever played it anyway, it's not as fun as you remember.
How would you know, Thomas?
I have Samba de Amigo.
Yeah, but he doesn't dance the way you usually need to dance. Tom doesn't dance, you know. You gotta put your body into it. I bet if you put your body into it, you have a lot of fun. Just put your body into it.
Ryan, you ever play Samba de Amigo?
I held the maracas one time.
Oh, good enough then.
Yeah. I got a lot farther than a lot of other people did. So.
All right. Well, if you want to let us know about anything about Nintendo Direct that you had feelings on, or message us about anything we talked about today, we do have a Discord, and it will be linked. We're also on most podcast apps. We have a YouTube page if you want to see our faces. And bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.